Welcome back to Ithaca BJJ. In the last video, we showed you how to dominate from side control with crushing pressure. But what if you're the one that's stuck underneath? Then this video is for you. Let's get started. Now remember, from the last video, we talked about this Kesa position and Professor Matt's pulling on the arm and closing that space. And again, this position here, where his head is low. This makes it extremely difficult to escape this position. However, this is a battle that you can win. So the first thing we want to do is get that outside arm back inside. And then we want to deal with the head. Now, why do we want to take care of that right arm first? Because if not, a good jiu-jitsu player is going to get that arm between his legs and go for something like this, a reverse triangle. But how do we get that arm back inside when we're dealing with such a dominant player? Well, you look at this punching motion. Now, of course, Professor Matt isn't punching his opponent, but he's using a punching motion, a swinging motion in combination with bridging to give him just enough space to get that elbow back inside. Next, he's going to deal with the head. How? He's going to grab John's head, and then he's going to use another bridging motion as he pushes John's head to the side. Watch. This gives him plenty of space to get that arm back inside. Now, an experienced player is going to do what? He's going to reverse the position and start fighting that arm. But now we have this arm free under John's chin. Now, what a lot of people will do is they will just start fighting with the one free arm. But no, we need to get that other arm free so we can have both arms at our disposal to fight John's one arm. This is a mistake that a lot of guys make. They fail to attack with all of their tools. You need both arms for this escape. Now, if you remember here, what I mentioned last time is that a lot of people will use that arm to block Professor Matt's hip. But it's John's arm against Professor Matt's arm, his hip, and his leg. That is not a battle that he can win. Instead, we need to get that arm and that hand in the fight to escape. Now, a good jiu-jitsu player will do something like this. They'll try to crush your arm with their knee. They're going to do whatever they can to get that arm out of commission. But you notice here that Professor Matt holds on to John's arm while getting his other arm out from underneath, and he gets that underhook. Now, this isn't just any underhook. Watch. He goes for a nice high underhook because this prevents John from establishing his own underhook. From here, Professor Matt can get to his knees and start going for the back. Or he can bring his knees inside and start reestablishing a guard. Now here's John doing the same thing. He's going to push on Professor Matt's head. Look at all that space he gets. And then he immediately gets his arm under his chin. Professor Matt reverses position. And then you notice John getting that hand of his free so he can start attacking Professor Matt's arm as he's bridging away. Now John goes for a lower underhook here, and even though Professor Matt gets his own underhook in, John has managed to get his hips so far away that he can hook that foot. This can bring him to his knees, or he can do a sweep. Now this is another easy escape that a lot of people miss. As your opponent reverses position, you can catch them during the reversal, push on their shoulder, and reverse them instead. Now again, this is where a lot of guys lose this battle. Someone like John is going to try to block that arm, but you need to fight to keep both of these arms in the battle. Now timing is important here. What we want to do is we want to catch our opponent just as he attempts to go for our head again and grab him behind his elbow. Watch. As he goes to bring that arm around, we grab him behind his elbow, reverse our hips, and come up on our own elbow, and we're on our way out. In this case, we're going to use his aggression against him. Here's that same position. You see that? We're going to get that arm out and we're going to keep fighting, and there's the reversal. Some guys get really aggressive in this position and we can use that aggression against them. Now sometimes if you have a player who's really heavy, you can use your legs to give you momentum as you're coming up and grabbing the back of their elbow. And then you're simply going to scoot your way out, as Professor Matt just did here. So here's John working on that same position. So he's explaining to Chris here, again, the importance of fighting that arm. And now, John is going to bring his arm on the outside and reverse. Come up and start going for the back take. But again, notice the key here. In all of these examples, we are engaging both of our hands, both of our arms to fight our opponent's one arm. Now watch this. This is going to be slightly different. John is going to take that left hand of his, get it around Chris's waist, come up on his elbow. Now watch this. He grabs Chris's wrist. Where do you think he's going? Any idea? Now with his hand around the elbow, around the waist, and he's got a grip on that wrist, he comes right up on top. And there you have it, folks. The easiest escape you've never tried. And if you've made it this far, take a look at this next video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe.